Whew. It's winter, it's cold, and the trailer isn't heated right now because I'm not camping in it. You can see the frost in the windows. The temperature right now, it's minus 10 Celsius, which is about 17 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty cold for camping. I need heat, and not only that, I need to protect things as well. This trailer is not winterized, and when I say winterized, I mean it has not been converted to use in the wintertime. I've had a lot of delays. Like, first of all, when I traveled way up north and I had that 2-week isolation, well, that put me 2 weeks behind. What I was really hoping is when October was here and it was still warm, I'd be able to winterize this camper. But it was not warm in October, and it was in the manufacturer most of October and some of November. So I'm about 2 months behind, and I gotta move quick or I'm not going to be able to camp at all. There are some things I must do right now, and the first one is insulation. I have to get this trailer properly insulated. I mean, yes, there is some insulation. I can open that up. You can see this white foam. It's a special insulator that Trillium uses. Plus, there's this layer of I guess marine cloth or carpet. This does help because, and with me, it's a hand test. If it's not cold, it's working. And it's not cold. Now, if I put my hand on the window, it's cold. Even the counters are cold. But what I need to do is decide on what insulation I'm going to use. There's a few compartment spaces in the bottom that I want to do. Definitely behind the galley. The floor. But the biggest loss of heat is the windows. And this trailer has a lot of windows, so I have to resolve that as well. The first thing I got to do is get it warm. I need another bench test. When I originally talked about heating in the spring, I did a test to see how long it would take to heat up when there has been no changes, and there still have not been any changes. The second step is I need to heat it up, and I need to take temperature readings all along the trailer. That way, when I do insulate it, I can see if it actually worked or not. But I didn't even bring gloves. I'm cold. I gotta get this thing heated up. So I'm gonna heat it up to room temperature, and I'll take some sample readings, and then I can start making this a little bit warmer. Well, now it's a little warmer in here. 20 degrees Celsius, or I think 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Typical room temperature. And I have my digital thermometer. Now what I'm going to do is take readings off 3 areas that I think I can improve on. So first one is a window. Now the thing about these digital thermometers is they vary depending on what surface you use them on. You can use them on glass, but it's not going to be accurate. But that's not the point of this. What I want to do is measure it at a certain area, and it's just sort of, well, does it improve? So, example.
In other words, the readings just give a rough starting point. The bare window reads 41.1 degrees Fahrenheit, or 6.7 degrees Celsius.
Now, another important area, and certainly an area I can improve on, is the floor.
The floor is a composite board with fiberglass underneath. It reads 28.8 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 1.8 Celsius.
And one more, which will be underneath the seat in that compartment below.
This section is mostly the bare fiberglass shell and reads 28.9 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 1.7 degrees Celsius.
And one last temperature to show you the difference between inside and outside.
Now I already knew my cheap dial thermometer was not very accurate, and it said 19 degrees Celsius. Reading from the valance, it was 63.7 degrees Fahrenheit, or 17.6 degrees Celsius. As for the outside, it was 24.6 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 4.1 Celsius.
Well, now I know there's a lot of people at this point are saying, can you just shut up and actually build something? And I'd love to, but I'm not there yet. I really have to make everybody understand where I'm coming from, what my benchmarks are, what the results are as I progress. So I want to go through this step by step. Now I think it was March, early April, I did a video called Which One's Warmer? And that was comparing my Outback to my A-liner as far as, well, when it was really cold, and I think at that case it was minus 3 Celsius or 26 degrees Fahrenheit, I fired up both furnaces, and here were the results.
Just to refresh your memory, the first test was to see how long it took to heat up the Outback using the built-in propane furnace with no changes to the trailer's insulation. It took 30 minutes to reach a comfortable room temperature. As for cool down, the Outback lost 12.6 degrees Celsius or 23 degrees Fahrenheit in an hour's time.
Now in a perfect world, you'd heat up your trailer and it would just stay heated. That would be wonderful. And if you have the address for that perfect world, I'd love to visit it sometime. But I don't live in the perfect world, and I know that there is going to be a cool down, whatever I do. It doesn't take long to heat up a trailer, insulated or not, but to keep that heat, retain that heat, is a big problem. So what my goal is with this exercise is to get it to retain that heat a little bit longer. That's it.
So if the trailer retains heat longer, I will use less fuel, which is essential for remote winter camping.
So here's a summary of what I've already learned today. The inside temperature is, you can see right now, about 18 degrees Celsius or 64 degrees Fahrenheit. The outside temperature is minus 4 degrees Celsius or 25 degrees Fahrenheit. That means the difference between what I want it and what it is outside is 22 degrees Celsius or 39 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's a pretty high number. You wouldn't want to sleep out there when it's below freezing, but you want to be nice and warm and comfortable inside. So how do things compare? Well, first of all, the floor and the storage area were definitely the worst. As a matter of fact, they were actually still below freezing. The floor right now is minus 2 Celsius or 29 degrees Fahrenheit. That's very little difference from actual outside, which is only a couple of degrees less. So the floor and the storage areas are cold. Those are the areas that need the most work on to try to keep some of that heat in. Now the windows, I've got 7 degrees or 44 degrees Fahrenheit, which means they reduce the inside temperature by 11 degrees Celsius or 19 degrees Fahrenheit. So windows can improve on, they're doing something, they are insulating, not a lot, but the storage areas and the floor are sucking out all my heat. Okay, I'm almost there. Now I can at least talk about materials. And there are so many different things you can insulate a trailer with. I mean, the list just goes on and on. And yeah, van builders got it great because they've covered the encyclopedia of insulation. There's so many different van building videos.
But a molded fiberglass trailer is not like a van, as there are no support beams or pockets to secure insulation. Instead, it's a shell of very irregular surfaces.
I have 3 main concerns right now. And the first one is budget. I blew my budget on fixing up the trailer at Trillium. And I don't have a lot of money left to spend on insulation. And so I've got to sort of make do with what I can afford. And here they are. The second thing is I'm running out of time. It is winter right now, and I'm not camping. I want to get this over with as quickly as possible. I don't have time to get special materials in, and they're going to take 2 months for China or whatever it is. And the third thing is availability. If you haven't heard, the world's in a bit of a crisis right now, and that makes getting materials a bit of a problem. So, to summarize it all, this is what I can work with. This is what I can afford. And here's what I got. I've got a Reflectix type material. This is called Resisto. It says high performance reflective insulation. It's either aluminum or mylar, I don't know which, with bubbles in it. A lot of people have seen this. A lot of people use this. I don't think it has a great R value and insulation value, but I think it's better than nothing, and it's reasonably priced, so I'm going to try that. I also got from my Canadian Tire store reflective window cover. It's what you typically put in your windshield, to block the sun, to keep heat out, but it can also be used as an insulator. I also have my old friend, okay, you're my friend too. Don't get angry with me. My pool noodle. I love pool noodles. I used it for my A-frame to cover aluminum, especially if it starts condensing and frost developing on it. Also, pipe wrap. I might use this. I haven't decided yet.
I'd really love to buy the same insulation Trillium uses, but it's hard to find and probably expensive.
Now, this was given to me by the manufacturer, by Trillium. I don't think they use it in their Outbacks. I think they use it because they also renovate and restore older trailers. But this is a typical fiberglass insulation. I think it's about 1.5 inches thick. And it's got a foil backing, and what do you call this? FSK, foil scrim craft. It's a little tougher than just aluminum foil, and that's good because I will be putting this at least in the compartments and probably in the galley, and I don't want, things might be touching up against it. As far as a R value, I don't know. I'm thinking it might be 4, but I don't really put a lot of faith in R values because I think it really depends on circumstances. These are the materials. Oh, there's one more thing. I almost forgot. I love these windows. I love having windows all around. And in the wintertime, which especially in the wintertime, I don't want to lose them. I know some people, they'll put Reflectix or whatever, and they'll cover up all those windows. That's like being in a coffin because I need that light, especially in the wintertime when there's only a few hours of daylight. I need light. I need to be able to see outside, or I'm not going to be comfortable. I'm not going to be happy. So I'm going to do a little bit of a compromise. I'm going to cover some of these windows up with like a foil material. And this one especially, I'm going to use, and I'm going to try this. This is clear vinyl. So we'll give some insulation. I don't know how much yet. I have used plastic on my A-frame. I used to put plastic with clips on the windows, and that worked quite well. I don't know how much it helped in retaining the heat, but it certainly kept down the frost. Anyway, these are my materials. These are the circumstance I'm using them in. So now, yes. Oh, I forgot again. There's still one thing. The floor. It's obvious the floor is the primary source of losing heat. Now, some people have suggested putting foam underneath the frame or foam spray. Not going to happen. Budget, number one, and two, I just don't know how that's going to perform on gravel, so I'm not going to do that. However, when I was at Trillium and I was sort of looking around their junk, I found this, which is the carpet that they use for the floors. Now, under this carpet, or on this floor right now, I didn't get a carpet on there, and that's where all the heat loss is coming from.
To be more precise, I did get a carpet for the main floor, but not for the area under my main table and bed.
They gave this to me. It was in the junk. And the reason being, you see the stain there? This had been sitting outside on a metal shelf. Look at all the rust. I mean, I don't care. I'm not going to see that, but that's why I got it for free. So I'm going to be putting this down, and it goes on snaps. And I understand from a video I did on these snaps before, people didn't understand how I actually installed them. So it gives me a chance to show how to install these snaps as well.
I mentioned the snap fasteners in my last 10 low-cost ideas for a small camper video, but didn't show how they really went together. The kit comes with a setting tool and base, as well as the 2-piece socket and cap which is attached to the fabric. As the carpet already included sockets, I'll demonstrate this on a camping strap. Using an awl, punch a hole through the fabric where you want the snap. Next, insert the post of the socket cap through the material. Position the setting tool base on a hard surface like cement and place the socket over the post. Using the setting tool and a hammer, gently tap the center post to form it into shape. This flattens the post like a rivet and secures the assembly to the fabric. Finally, test the socket with a snap. As for my current installation, I only needed to install the snaps. I positioned the carpet sockets and marked where the snaps needed to go. Drill a hole to receive the screw post part of the strap. And screw in the snap. Test to see if it works, and the job is done.
Well, now I created all this mess. I gotta clean it up. And I've run out of time in a video. It's running too long. So I guess we'll wait till next video and I'll actually get my hands dirty. Now I'm just cleaning up. Well, the table's a little cleaner at least, but now I gotta remove other things because I'm gonna be working with fiberglass and I don't want fibers all over the cushions and the carpet and everything else. So I gotta gut this place. Reality is, I really gotta do this quickly if I want to camp. So I'm probably going to have to put the camera down the next little while to get things all built so I can camp. What that means is my video output might be a little erratic the next few weeks, but please bear with me. It's going to be worthwhile. And also, I've been working on the web page, and guess what? I finally have my own Slim Potato Head t-shirt. So there's going to be more stuff like that coming out in the next little bit as well. But right now, I got to make cushions fly. I hope you enjoy this. Please stay with me. There's more exciting things to come.